This might surprise you. Sushi, one of the world's most elegant foods, once smelled terrible. Not fresh, not delicate, but sour, fermented, and powerful enough to fill the air. Welcome to English Espresso, your daily English listening practice for beginners, where you don't just learn English, you experience it. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Hear the soft splash of river water. Feel the humid heat pressing gently against your skin. A fisherman stands in the river, knee-deep. He pulls in his net, heavy, full, but his face is tense because he knows something. By tomorrow, this fish may be useless. Fresh fish does not last long here. Within hours, it begins to spoil. So, he does something unusual. He takes the fish, packs it tightly, in salt, and then buries it in rice. And then he waits. Days pass, weeks pass, sometimes months. The rice begins to break down. The smell grows stronger, deeper, sharper, almost overwhelming. But inside, something unexpected is happening. And that raises a question. How did this ancient survival technique become one of the most refined foods in the world? What changed everything? Listen closely, because as this story unfolds, you will improve your English while listening and discover the moment the world learned to taste what once had to be hidden. Part 1. The Mekong origins of Funazushi. The story does not begin in Japan. It begins along the humid banks of the Mekong River, a place where survival shaped innovation. Imagine the heat, heavy, unforgiving, constant. A fisherman stands in the water, knee-deep. His net is heavy, his hands tired, his face tense, because he understands something important. By tomorrow, this catch could be useless. Fresh fish does not last long here. Within hours, it begins to spoil. So people adapted. They took the fish, packed it tightly in salt, and buried it in rice. Not for days, but for weeks. Sometimes months. Time itself became part of the process, and slowly, a quiet transformation began. This process is called fermentation, a natural change where bacteria break down food. The smell grew strong, sharp, sour, almost overwhelming. The taste even stronger. But it worked. This was preservation, a way to keep food safe for long periods when nothing else could. The rice absorbed everything: moisture, odor, decay, and so the rice was thrown away. Only the fish remained. It was not delicious. It was necessary. But hidden inside this harsh method was the first blueprint of sushi. And far away, in Japan, someone would soon take this idea and quietly transform it into something the world would one day celebrate. Part 2. The Edo Revolution and Street Food Culture. Now, we move forward in time to a different place. The bustling streets of old Tokyo, then known as Edo. The city is growing, fast, crowded, restless, alive with movement and noise. People no longer have time to wait for food. They need something quick, affordable, immediate. But traditional fermented fish takes too long. So chefs make a bold decision. They remove time from the process. Instead of waiting months, they add vinegar to the rice. The sourness remains, but the delay disappears. This is the turning point. Fresh fish replaces preserved fish. The flavor becomes lighter, cleaner, more balanced. And then, something new appears. Nigiri. A small hand-pressed mound of rice, topped with fresh fish. Simple, portable, efficient, sold at street stalls, eaten while standing. This is not luxury. This is urban fuel. Vendors move quickly, hands pressing rice, slicing fish, serving in seconds. The rhythm of the city flows through every movement. But beneath this speed, something deeper is happening. Technique improves. Balance begins to matter. Presentation starts to evolve. What was once survival is becoming craft. Not loudly, quietly, and without anyone fully realizing it. Sushi begins its transformation from necessity to something far more refined. Part 3. Global Expansion and the California Roll. Then, sushi leaves Japan. It crosses the Pacific Ocean and arrives in Los Angeles. In the 1960s, a new culture, a new audience, and a new challenge. Here, sushi feels unfamiliar. Seaweed looks unusual. Raw fish feels risky. The flavors, different, even intimidating. So chefs adapt. They do not abandon tradition. They reshape it, carefully, creatively. And from this experimentation, something new is born. The California roll. Rice on the outside. Seaweed hidden within. Avocado adds a soft, creamy texture. Crab brings familiarity. This is cultural adaptation. When something changes to fit a new environment, and it works. Slowly, resistance fades. Curiosity replaces hesitation. People begin to try, then accept, then enjoy. Sushi is no longer foreign. It becomes fashionable, then popular, then global. Restaurants appear in cities across the world. Menus expand. Variations grow. What began as a local tradition becomes an international phenomenon. From a niche dish to a worldwide trend, sushi transforms again. This time, not through survival, not through speed, but through connection. Across cultures, across tastes, across borders. Part 4. Modern Mastery and the Art of Omakase. Now, step into a different world. Quiet, minimal, precise. A high-end sushi restaurant. The noise of the city fades away. Here, there are no menus, no choices, only trust. This is omakase. I leave it to you. The chef decides everything. Each piece is prepared and served, one by one, carefully, deliberately. The rice is warm, the fish is cool, the balance, exact, every bite, designed. Here, you begin to notice details, texture, temperature, timing. New words emerge. Fatty, rich, soft, almost melting, lean, clean, light, precise. Umami, a deep, savory flavor that lingers. But behind this experience is discipline, years of training, sometimes decades, repeating the same movements, again and again, until they become perfect. The chef is a shokunin, a master devoted to craft. Every gesture matters, every cut has purpose. What was once fast street food is now refined into art. Not just something to eat, but something to experience. A symbol of precision, of dedication, of mastery. And yet, even here, in the highest form, the past still exists, quietly, within every bite. Part 5. The future of sustainable sushi, but the story is not over, because the future is changing the past. In 2026, new challenges emerge. Oceans are warming. Fish populations are declining. The balance between tradition and nature is under pressure, so sushi must evolve again. Now, chefs begin to focus on sustainability. They choose responsibly sourced seafood. They follow seasonal cycles. They reduce waste. Some even explore plant-based alternatives that mimic traditional flavors. Technology enters the kitchen. Science meets tradition. And the question becomes more complex. How do you preserve authenticity while protecting the environment? How do you honor the past while preparing for the future? This is the next transformation. Not driven by survival, not driven by speed, but driven by responsibility. And just like before, small changes begin to shape something larger. The story continues. Adapting, evolving, responding. Because sushi has never been fixed. It has always changed, and it always will. Final learning loop, conclusion transition. Now, pause. Look back at the journey, from fermentation to vinegar, to global fusion, to artistic mastery, to sustainable innovation. You have not just followed a story, you have experienced a transformation. And along the way, you have learned something more, a system of language, words like fermentation, preservation, adaptation, umami, sustainability, each one carrying meaning, each one building understanding. This is how language works, not all at once, but step by step, layer by layer, just like sushi evolved. So the next time you see sushi, on a plate or in a story, you will see more than food. You will see history, culture, change, and most importantly, you will understand it in English. What began as survival became art, and what you begin today might become fluency.